Today we'll be discussing how to make Bruce Lee's exact replica nunchucks from his classic movie, Enter the Dragon, and it starts right now. Hey guys, Charles Damiano here from the Bruce Lee Collection for another exciting episode, and today I'm here with my Bruce Lee brother, Jimmy O'Connor, who you guys known from a previous episode. So Jimmy, thank you for inviting me into your house again,
thanks
man.
for coming over, man.
I appreciate it. We did 2 episodes on you a couple months back, and it got some really great feedback from the fans, especially when we started talking about the nunchucks and you making the nunchucks. And I know it led into you making a bunch of pairs of nunchucks for some of the fans and collectors. How many did you make already?
I got my wife on the clock up there sewing her. I made about almost 10 pairs.
Wow, great.
Some people want 4 or 5 pairs.
Yeah, we had a lot of interest from the fans and collectors of the channel once we talked about, Jimmy making the chucks. Now, I know you've been making chucks. Everyone makes a pair, right? But you seem like you've mastered the process. And when
it's just something it's like a passion of mine.
Yeah. When did you make your first pair of chucks?
I made my first pair of chucks when I was 12, or 13, when I came home from the theater after seeing the Chinese Connection.
I mean, we all did that. I remember running home as well, and we probably, did you cut up a broomstick or a mop?
Yeah, I think my father had some spare wood in the basement. So and it was funny because I had a 1-inch piece of wood and a 1/2-inch piece of wood. Yeah. And I made a set of nunchucks out of. That was my first pair.
That was your first pair.
They weren't even, they were mismatched.
Yeah, no, we all did that as kids, and we practiced with them and hit ourselves with them.
Oh, yeah.
But you've really come a long way, because when I saw these chucks that you made last time, I had people writing in and they said, can you give a little more specifics of how, Jimmy actually puts the nunchucks together? I'd like to know the steps involved. So I figured we'd do this episode today and kind of maybe break it down. You don't have to give exactly, because I know it's a process to it, but maybe we could talk about it in a few steps. Step 1, we get the wood. Step 2, in that nature. So we'll talk about that. This way they can see what the process looks like, and maybe if you guys want to make it on your own, you could do that and give yourself a chance to see what you come up with, or you can always reach out to James and he can make a professional pair for you that are kind of more like replica pair of what you've actually seen in the movies, because they all have little details. Like the Game of Death is made a certain way, the Way of the Dragon one is made a certain way, the chain length it could be different, right? The thickness of the
a little bit,
could be a little different. So today we're going to focus on Enter the Dragon ones, and the reason we chose that is just because it's Bruce Lee's classic film. I think we were all impressed as kids when we saw the dungeon scene. Remember that scene?
Oh yeah.
And he whipped out those chucks, and I never seen such speed. So, and a lot of people say, "Oh, I'd love a pair of the Enter the Dragon chucks." So I figured we'd talk about that today.
It's crazy because nobody really, except for Dolan Sports in the 70s, nobody really marketed a pair that were like, what they were, dimensionally and everything.
Yeah, so. And you actually started looking into more of the dimensions and the chain length, right? When did you start doing that? Where you
studying the pictures?
Studying the pictures. Well, you've come a long way.
Because back then, like I said, in the 70s, all you had was a few pictures in the magazines. You didn't have, you couldn't go freeze frame the video because there was no video.
Exactly. Which now you can do. Right. So how do you want to start today? So we're obviously going to try to show the audience how to put together the Enter the Dragon one. So what's the first step? Like, how would you start?
The first step is we're going to load a connector into the core, and then we're going to do the wrap with the foam. Okay,
so these are foam chucks, right? And they're more prop chucks, and that's what he used in Enter the Dragon, right? Not to hurt anyone. And so what size do you make them? Is there a certain size if somebody were to try to make this?
13 inches.
About 13 inches.
Yeah. Or 12 and a half. Okay. I mean, it's close.
Okay, 12 and a half to 13 inches.
Yeah.
And what is that? Is that a...
This is a connector piece that's going to sit inside there that we're going to link our chain to.
Okay. All right. So you want to show how you do that, or?
Sure. Let me grab...
So we're going to try to take you through a few steps, guys. So this is some of the material you use.
Yeah, I like to use a plastic. You can use a piece of wood, a 1/2-inch wooden dowel, but the plastic is much more durable to anchor the chain.
You use more of a hollow plastic.
Right.
Well, what is this, about a 1/2 inch?
Sometimes I reinforce it with a I mean, you could reinforce the plastic with
let's show in here
with a piece of wood sliding inside if you want, but it really doesn't.
It gives it a little more weight, I guess, right?
Right. Sometimes they'll do that with the black ones.
Yeah.
But, like the Game of Death, they bend a little bit, so I just leave it the pipe because the pipe has a little flexibility.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
You see when he's pulling on it.
It can bend a little bit.
Yeah,
Yep.
Right. So,
okay. So you first start with the tube.
Right.
Okay.
And I'm gonna have to cut a chain link. Here.
Okay. And what size chain do you normally go with for the Enter the Dragon ones? How many links are on the chain? Would you say?
The Enter the Dragon has a smaller chain link. The other sets have a bigger, like a 5/8 chain link.
Oh, I got you.
Smaller size.
That's a smaller size.
Right.
So that's the actual size of the chain links, right? They're
pretty
smaller.
close.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty close. So.
And how many do you go with? 9?
9 links on the Enter the Dragon. The other ones are 11 links.
And where can you buy the chain links? Any hardware store?
It's hard to find the right size. You know, like a place like Tractor Supply.
Okay.
Place like that where they have a lot of chain in there. You could find.
Oh, you could find the chains there. Okay.
I found my chain. Not this one. I got this at Tractor Supply, but the bigger links are hard to find the right size because it's the way they size chain. You look at it and then you get it and you're like, it's too small.
Too small.
Yeah,
Okay.
But there's a place called Zorro.com.
Okay.
They have the perfect size chain.
And you can go out there and you can see different types of chains. Zorro.com. Okay.
Yep,
okay.
Zorro.com. They have the clips that you use on the Enter the Dragon. So.
Okay, so the end clips as well, which we'll discuss in a bit. So you're going to cut these to how many inches now?
Well, right now I'm going to cut 1 link because we're going to add it onto this to anchor it into
I got you.
into the home.
So you're cutting the chain link now.
I'll tell you why I'm doing this part. Just going to bend it out a little bit. Take that off. Put that on there. And
now you're closing it up?
Bend it back up.
Got it. So there is a process to this, guys. It's not as easy as everyone thinks to make a pair of chucks. So why don't you talk through what you're doing with this now, Jimmy?
Okay, I'm just want to get this link onto this piece, and I'll explain why in a second.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hook that on, close this up very carefully. And we still have a little gap there, so I'm just going to clamp it down the rest of the way.
So you don't want any gap between the link that you just
it doesn't
opened.
matter. It's going to be inside the plastic pipe, but
Right.
that just makes sure it's solid. Okay. So there's our connector piece there.
Yeah,
And the reason I put this on it is because when I anchor this into the pipe, I don't want the screw right near the edge. This gives us a little more room where we could
put it into the pipe.
Load it in a little more.
Secure it in more.
So it's not so close to the edge.
Yep.
And then we're going to squeeze this part down so it fits a little better in there. So we just squeeze that in a little bit. Now I'm going to mark where I'm going to cut. Magic marker. Okay. So if you can see here, I'm going to lay this on there. I want this piece sticking out right there, right at the edge. Okay, so I mark where we're going to cut it. And take our X-Acto knife and make a little pilot hole here.
So you're putting a hole into the into the tube now.
Right. We're going to anchor that piece in there.
That's more or less what holds the chain in then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that you know it's not going to detach.
Right. And on the wood sets, you do the same thing. We're going to, you drill a hole into the wood.
Yep.
Do a cross hole, load the chain, and then pin it in.
Got you.
Yeah.
So now you drill the hole through the plastic tubing?
Yeah. You drill a hole right through the side. shave off the excess.
So this is where you make all the replica nunchucks. This is your workspace.
It's my workspace. Yep. So we move that in till the link is sitting in there where we want it.
Towards the hole.
Yep. And then we're gonna put the screw through here.
Well, that's never coming out.
No.
Remember in the old days, you just used to put the eye into the wood?
The eye hook, yeah.
And then after a while, the eye hook would come detached from the wood.
Yep.
And the wood would come flying out. Yeah, so this is in there permanently now. Is this how Bruce did his? Is this how he had his major thing?
On the wood ones, all his wood sets, he just ran the chain right into the wood, you know. But on the, yeah, pretty much on the one, whether he had a wood core or a plastic core, it's pretty much the same. See, so
that's the technique involved.
So that's anchored in there now, and we're just gonna wrap a piece of tape around that to keep the, you know, the nut from slipping around or loosening up. Okay.
Let me see that. So this is now you put a tape around the screw.
Yep.
And that's the eye that's going to be
right
on the outside that the chain will eventually attach to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to start wrapping the foam.
So these are now going to be foam chucks, right? So you just prep the tube that will go into the chucks.
Right. So now what I'm doing here is I'm marking the first. I use this thin foam. It's like a when you're moving. Like you put it between dishes or something like that.
I see it. Yep.
And this is really good because it's really dense, and as you wrap it, it builds up quick.
I got you.
So the first piece we're going to cut across the top. We're going to measure about 5 3/4 or so, and then on the bottom we're going to measure 15 and I don't know 7/8 or close enough for rock and roll.
Got you.
Okay. And we're going to take a.
So this is what you're going to wrap the tube with? You're going to wrap the tube in the foam?
Yes.
Before you put the leather or the material around the chuck.
And you could mark it, but I don't even need to. I'll just take the X-Acto and run it along the edge here.
And now you're cutting it?
Yeah.
Is that so it wraps correctly?
Yeah. This is what's going to give us the start of the taper we need. Okay.
So what'd you cut? Show the people what you cut there.
So you cut this piece. This is what it looks like after you cut it. About 5 3/4, 15 and
that allows you to wrap it around the tube.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to take. This is Gorilla Tape, double-sided tape. It's extremely strong tape, very good, sticky.
And what do you do with that? That's what holds the.
Yeah, I'll show you. We're going to. We're going to lay that on the piece here.
So it's double-sided.
Yeah, it's double-sided, so it's going to stick nice to that. Okay. You see that?
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to take this.
So you're getting the material, the foam material lined up on the double stick tape.
Yep. Halfway, so when we wrap it, the other side will catch. Okay, so like that. And like I say, we're just going to keep this top nice and even here and wrap it down. Take a little piece of electrical tape, and right here at the bottom, we're just going to tape it down.
So that's holding the foam now onto the the tube.
Yeah, and so see now we're starting to get. This is the foundation for our taper here. Okay.
So do you wrap it again now?
Yep, we're going to put another wrap
to make it a little thicker.
Yeah, we're just going to keep thickening. What's going to happen is these ridges, these grooves, you know, from where it's from the way we wrapped it. When we add a couple more layers, it's going to hide all that.
Oh, I got you.
And it's going to conform to the taper. So.
So you're getting another piece of double stick tape?
Same thing, you know, a piece of double stick tape, and we're just going to lay it right on there. Same thing, just laying it up at the top and halfway across. Until it catches the other side. Because I don't know if you could see this, but you could see the edge here where
the grooves were.
No, where the foam is underneath. Yeah. We're going to cut it right along that line. It's kind of hard to see, but so we're going to take an X-Acto and cut it right along this edge here. And there's our first wrap.
Wow, now it's nice and smooth.
It's getting there, yeah.
Yeah. So how many wraps do you do with that? 2, 3. That's 2.
Yeah, that's 1 and plus 1. Yeah, so 1 more probably on this for the other ones. Game of Death and Way of the Dragon a little fatter, so do 3 wraps.
Got you.
Okay.
And that's how you monitor the thickness of each pair.
Yeah.
That's why they're all a little different.
Right, right. I used to, when I started doing, I used to use the pipe covering foam. Yeah. Which is just a solid, thick piece of foam. But it was really hard to work with, you know.
So now you're putting another piece of double stick tape on there?
Another piece of double stick tape. I put it on the opposite side where we put the other tape.
So now you're rolling it again?
Rolling it again, yep. Keep down, and then the same thing, you're just going to cut along that edge where it's kind of, you could see it through the foam where it is. So.
Now, is that the edge of the last piece?
Yeah.
So that's where you're trying to end it, where the
butts right up.
Butts right up against the last piece that went on.
Yep. So that's 2 wraps so far. I'll do 1 more. The pain getting this backing piece off of here. Okay.
So this is the 3rd wrap now to get the proper thickness of the ends of the Dragon Chucks.
Okay, there we go. Yep. It looks a little thicker now, but when we wrap the, you know, the skin on it, it's gonna pull it in and give it more of the shape it needs.
And what's the skin made of that you use? Is it a leather? Is it fake leather?
No, it's real leather.
Oh, it's real leather.
I use real leather on the black ones, but on the Game of Death, you have to use the polyurethane vinyl fabric.
Show those.
Yeah. The only way to get the Game of Death to look what they are is to use this yellow vinyl.
Yeah.
You know, if you use leather, it's not going to have that, you know, slick, shiny, wet look to it, like, you know. But yeah, these are real leather.
That's real leather.
Yeah,
wow.
and that makes them durable.
Yeah.
You know, because leather just has that thickness, and when you stitch it, and plus add a little glue into the seams to do it, holds it really good.
So now what do? You add some black electrical tape? Is that electrical tape?
Now we're gonna put some. I'll show you. We're gonna do the bottoms here to get the rounded look on the bottom. Okay, so.
So what kind of tape are you using?
Just regular electrical tape.
Okay.
You don't need it to be super sticky or anything like that because the leather and all is going to hold it all together.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we cut 4 pieces, basically the size of the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, put them all together like that.
So those are 4 circular pieces.
Yep.
That you're going to cap off the bottom of the chuck with.
Yep. So we're going to just lay it on there like this.
Okay.
Okay. Just line it up good as you can anyways. Then we're going to stick it down like that. Then we're going to put another piece going the opposite way. Across the top.
Here, show them how that looks.
Okay.
You can see here, Jimmy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
that just caps it off now. So it gives it that round look, right?
Right. So now we're going to take 3 pieces, a little smaller, and we're going to put them on top of these and tape it the same way. So this is what's going to give us that shape.
So that's kind of what rounds it off at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like tapers into a little bit more of an oval.
Right.
At the bottom. Nice.
And we just, you know, for the second pieces, we just put the tape opposite
the other tape.
Where the other tape is, so.
Yeah, show them that.
Okay. Then we'll take a scissors. Can you see that? Okay. And these little pieces that are sticking up, we just give them a
little trim.
Little trim. And that's it. When that's inside the casing, it's going to look nice and round. It looks rough now, but it's going to look nice and round when it's inside.
That sits inside the casing.
So that's it. That's the first stick before we wrap it.
Got you.
Okay.
All right. So Jimmy, what stage are we at now with the
so now we
Enter the Dragon chucks?
Right. We're going to get ready to stitch the piece that's going to go over it.
Okay.
The leather. So this is the pattern for the leather.
Okay.
You do extra long because you're going to want enough to play with on the ends when you're done. But 3 3/4 to 4 3/4.
So this gives it a tapered feel.
Right.
Okay.
So 3 3/4 to the line, and then you have to leave yourself a little overhang. I usually do a 1/2 inch overhang, to be able to work with. My wife does all the stitching on the sewing machine and stuff. So anyway, you basically going to fold this over and line up the line on each side, and then run a stitch down it. So after you do, this is what it looks like.
So that's the finished product.
Stitch it inside out, right?
Got you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And these lines here, I drew them on the leather side so you could see it better, but they should be on the the unfinished side because you're going to fold it that way to do it.
So that's backwards now, right? The leather?
Yeah, it's backwards. And so we're going to just trim off the excess here, about an 1/8 inch from where the thread is.
And that's why you drew the lines for yourself.
Right.
So you're trimming that off now.
Yeah, I'm trimming it off just outside this stitch. These are already stitched.
And you stitched that on a sewing machine?
Yeah, Deb did, yep.
Yeah, your wife did that on a sewing machine, okay.
And then the tops and bottoms she does by hand.
Oh, wow. She stitches them by hand.
Yeah.
So these are pretty time consuming to make.
It's very time consuming, yeah.
Wow.
Because there's a lot of little steps and...
Yeah.
So.
Especially these prop ones. I mean, the wood one's probably a little easier because you're just dealing with a piece of wood, and even that
exactly,
you have to...
yeah. But these are like genius what he did.
Yeah.
With the leather and everything, because they look so cool, you know. But okay, so I'm gonna turn that in a little bit.
So let me see that again. Okay.
Okay. Take a nylon washer, put it over the top here, slide it in, and and I'll tape it on. I won't do it now, just to save time. But I'll tape this on like that onto the top. So when we pull the leather over the tops, it's going to give it that flatter look instead of pulling all the foam together.
So. Yep.
So now we get this started here.
So that's kind of funny. I would think you would have put in the real leather side on the. No,
yeah, because for the yellow ones, because they stretch.
Yeah.
I can do it that way.
Just slide it on.
Just slide it right up.
So
over.
this one
is
backwards.
This one you have to kind of. Yeah, you have to kind of put it on like this and then
backwards
roll it,
and then
roll it down.
Oh, I got you. Wow.
Okay, there you go. See.
Well, how'd you figure that out?
I don't know.
Just trial and error?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we're gonna have to, you gotta keep working it down so you get enough overhang on the end here to
stitch it up.
Right? So sometimes it gets a little jammed up. And she puts a little stitch in the top here to keep it, to hold it while it, you do that, so we just cut that off. We don't need that, so. Okay, now I'll explain how she does the, okay, so for stitching the bottom, where the seam is right here, you're going to take that side, hold it here, and you're going to, what she'll do is she'll put a stitch maybe about a 1/2 inch across the middle there, okay? Then you're going to fold it over after that stitch is done. You're going to fold it over like this and this, like that. And she's going to run a stitch across there, and that's what's going to
X look.
Right, and on the top, same thing. You're going to fold it stitch side first, tack it, and then fold it over the opposite ways. So this way, instead of putting one stitch, like cutting a pattern on the bottom and doing one stitch, now you have 2 layers, both stitched. It's much more sturdy and durable. Same thing with the tops. So now I'll show you it all done. Okay, so. These are 2 sticks all done, stitching's all done. You can see on the bottom, see where we folded it first and then folded it this way.
Yep.
And she did the stitch here, and the same thing for the tops.
Yep. So now you got 2 sticks.
2 sticks.
Ready to go.
Ready to go.
And now what's the next step?
Next step is we're just going to connect our chain to it.
All right, and then we'll have our Enter the Dragon chucks. And then we'll start swinging them. Now, how many links we going with the Enter the Dragon ones?
9 links.
Oh, 9.
With these pocketbook clips he had on there. Why, I don't know, but he had those on the Enter the Dragon one. Like I said before in the video, I mean, it probably broke, and these are like a quick hookup or something. Because, and then they're connected with these type of links again too. I'm going to open these links up a little bit so we can connect it. There's one piece.
So what are these? What are these considered connector links?
Yeah, they're like double link chain.
Got ya.
Okay. Gonna have to open the other sides a little bit to get our clips on.
So you're going to open the other side now?
Yeah.
And is that simply a link that came out of the chain that you're opening up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a pretty little handy device there. What's that called?
This?
Yeah.
This is a vise.
A vise.
Yeah. The vise is the most valued tool.
Yes, I could see that. Otherwise, you'd have to use probably 2 pliers or something like that.
Yep.
And brute strength to open them up.
Hacksaw. There we go.
So what are you doing now?
I'm just cutting the chain. Okay. So now we got our 9-link piece here.
So those to connect the pieces?
Yeah, we're gonna hook
the
spring clips.
Show that close up of that.
Yep, these are.
Okay.
It's open now, but we're gonna
up.
close it back up, and so we're gonna hook our spring clips on. And like I said, Enter the Dragon's the only one that had these clips on it. Just lock that up.
You're closing the links back up now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay. So, open that up a little more.
The master at work.
Yeah. Okay, now we're gonna. You know, the first time you came and did that interview with me, I was so terrified of doing it. I was like Hooper in Jaws when he spits, he goes to spit in the mask, and he goes, "I got no spit."
I got no spit.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, well, you did a great job on that, man. And now, a few weeks later, you already sold 10 pair of Chucks.
I know.
Everyone's asking you for them. I just wanted people to see what this process is. It's not easy. What would you say the total amount of hours is to do each pair? From soup to nuts. How much time and effort goes in?
To do one pair, if I did one pair between the sewing and everything else, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Wow.
You know?
Yep. It's a lot.
Okay, now we're going to hook our chain onto the clips here. The only thing I worry about is these spring clips. These are the heaviest duty ones I could find. I just hope they hold up good, because it's an odd thing. If it was just solid chain, it would be indestructible, but they seem pretty heavy duty, so.
So that's your last piece there. All right, look at that, man. You see yourself in there? Look,
yeah.
Hold them out like that again. And that's the finished product of the Enter the Dragon Chucks. Can you give us a spin?
So, I got a low ceiling.
You got a low ceiling here.
I always end up hitting the ceiling, but.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's
just
pretty good.
Yeah,
man, I like that. Thank you for that demo, man.
I can't go too crazy.
No, you have the low ceiling here in the basement.
Yeah.
Wow.
So these are, you can see the leather's a bit dull on here. Well, the final step is to give it like 3 coats of kiwi leather dye, and that's going to give it that deep black gloss.
Oh, so you even put dye on it?
Yeah, we do about 3 or 4 coats of the kiwi leather dye. Even though they're black, this dye is really going to make them look, you know, shiny and deep, you know.
Kiwi leather dye.
Kiwi leather dye.
Wow, thank you for that final step there.
This one. Some other leather dyes I tried were very dull and flat, so that works the best.
Gives it a little sheen.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, James.
All
right, so Jimmy, man, I want to thank you, man, for showing us how you make these chucks.
Thank you, Charles.
That 4 to 5 hours of labor goes into these.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. And look at this final product, guys. Simply magnificent. And again, Jimmy can save you time and effort. If you want him to go through the steps, you can purchase a pair from him. He has made about, what, 10 pairs so far?
So, yeah, about 10 pairs so far.
And what are most people ordering? Game of Death chucks, the Way of the Dragon chucks?
So far, mostly the Enter the Dragon, Way of the Dragon. One person wanted Game of Death so far.
Okay, and as you can see, the Game of Death chucks are simply beautiful as well. They kind of give a little bit. You can see they bend here. These are all the prop versions. He does a great job with the leather. And if anyone wanted to contact you and order them instead of going through the tedious steps involved here, you seem like you have all the tools, the chains, the leather. You have your wife help you with the stitching on these.
Yeah.
There's certainly a process to them to get them to this final product, which really look magnificent. I know I own the Game of Death ones that you made for me, and I just love them, and the Way of the Dragon ones. So eventually I'll get a pair of Enter the Dragon from you as well. But if anyone wants to contact you, what's your email that they can reach out to you at?
James O'Connor 871 at yahoo.com.
Okay, so James O'Connor 871 at yahoo.com. So if you want to email James, he can make them for you. Personally, the style you want from any of the Bruce films, you can let him know. He'll go over the details on pricing. He's very reasonably priced for the amount of work that he puts into these chucks. The pricing is very reasonable. I mean, I've seen some of these, I think I told you earlier, in the 90s out of Japan. They came out of there. They were selling these for like $300 a pair.
Yeah.
And now online, if you look to buy them now, because you can't get them anymore. There's a lot of people that still make them. You showing me a set for close to $500.
$500
that people are paying for them now.
My wife back in the 90s found these online, and she didn't really know. These are these were a pair that were made in Japan. And this is what I got.
Oh my God! Look at that! Look at the difference.
Yeah.
These little skinny sticks.
But that's not, she wasn't looking at this picture, so they looked more like these. So when she called them and said, hey, these are not right, they're not stitched the right way, and oh, well, the ones you were looking at are the DL version. These are the whatever. So
oh my God.
They charged her $70 for these.
For this little, look at this, guys, little pair of look like kid sticks versus the ones that James puts together, which is more true to form from the movies. And so so $70 for this.
$70 for that.
So again, guys, if you want them professionally made, James has been building these for years and years and years now. I know you're also an airbrush artist, so you're very talented, right? You do airbrushing.
Yeah, I do airbrushing work.
He does T-shirts. He does paintings. If you have any models that you want him to paint for you, we're gonna get him back in business here, man. I'm a big Aurora models fan, and I purchased the mummy that was put out in 1961 by Aurora Models, right?
Yeah.
And it came unmade, and James was kind enough to put this together. He professionally airbrushed it, as you can see here. So talk about being talented. As a kid, I used to just paint these with a little brush. It was all enamel. Here it's all flat paint, airbrush, professionally done. So this is the kind of work that James puts into not only his models, but his chucks. So you can rest assured that if you're looking for a really good quality pair of chucks, he's the man to make them for you. So I want to thank you again, man.
Thanks, Charles.
I know that the fans, thanks, man, and collectors that reached out to me from the ones that you made already for them are so excited. They were sending me pictures of them, and I know Jessie Odawa just got hers yesterday, and she sent me a picture, and she goes, they look exactly like Enter the Dragon, and I can also practice in them, not worrying about them falling apart.
I'm glad they can enjoy using them. Because a lot of times they sell them just for display. So
yep. Yep.
Should be able to have fun with them. Yeah.
Yeah. So so that's it for this episode, guys. I'm gonna sign out. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and until next time, James and I are gonna sign out saying, as always, have fun collecting, and we will see you guys next time. Take care, guys. All right, man.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Cool.